But there's another way of looking at this as well, and that is to, if you think about it, if you think about, well, we all want to have a teacher who is enlightened, who understands this teaching, who has a lot of compassion and kindness, who is wise and peaceful, and all these kind of things. And everybody's always competing about, who is most enlightened and who is not enlightened. If when you travel around the world and you meet monks and lay people from here and there, everybody says, oh, my teacher is enlightened, my teacher is an arahant, I don't know about all these other teachers, but my teacher is definitely an arahant. And you find this happening again and again. And after a while you think, gee, there must be lots of arahants in the world if all these people are arahants. And you start to realize that you can't trust this, Just because people say that their teacher is an arahant, it doesn't actually mean all that much, because we all want our teacher to be somebody special. We have to justify why we are a disciple of this teacher, right? Why are you a disciple of somebody who hasn't got his act together? Of course you have. That's why you think your teacher is an arahant. So this is not really a very good criterion. We realize that we cannot just go about all this hearsay and all these things that other people say. That doesn't actually work. And in the end of the day, even when we have a teacher that we have been around for a long time, and we have watched them, and we have seen that the conduct is pure and beautiful and kind and all these kind of things, still, at the end of the day, you can never be absolutely sure whether they really teach the true teaching. And this is the problem in life. The only person that we have to assume is awakened, has understood the Buddhist teachings, is the Buddha himself. If the Buddha is not awakened, if the Buddha doesn't know what he's talking about, basically this whole thing we call Buddhism just collapses into absolutely nothing. It doesn't exist anymore. All these other teachers, all these teachings that we have, they rely on one thing. They rely on the assumption that the Buddha actually was awakened 2,500 years ago. Take him away, everything else is null and void and just collapses. So that is, for that reason, because the Buddha is really, at the end of the day, is the only person we have to assume was awakened, that is where we should place our confidence. That is where we should read the teachings, because that is what has to be right. And then everything else has to be compared to that. Everything else has to match up to those teachings. And only then should they really be accepted as genuine, if they do not contradict what was said by the Buddha himself.